weather just keeps getting worse out there in parts of southern Kentucky. We're now under a tornado warning for a couple of counties due to the fact that storm is just really starting to twist. It's got the indications that there could very well be some tornadic activity in it. Let's go straight to some tips, and then we'll get you to radar and show you exactly who's being affected. Right now, if you are in one of those counties, which does include at this point in time Laurel County, Rockcastle, and Jackson County, any of those counties, you need to get to a basement or the lowest point of your home. By lowest point of your home, remember what that means. If you live in a two-story house, you want to be in the bottom floor, and you want to try to get in the middle of the house somewhere, the interior hallway or a room somewhere, so you can add some extra protection to you. You're trying to add layers to a shell, and by layers to a shell, what I'm talking about there is more walls indicates better protection around your body. And obviously you want to stay away from windows. We know how easily those can be broken, so keep that in mind too. Stay away from any and all windows. It is really starting to heat up out there in that particular part of the region. Now I can show you some other things. I'm going to show you a big view of the radar before we get tight and show you the live pinpoint Doppler. You can see what we've been dealing with here, this little cluster of storms out in extreme southern parts of this Commonwealth that are now really getting pretty tough, very, very active out there for all of those counties in extreme southern Kentucky. And again, with tornado warnings in effect, that means we're talking some major business for all of you folks out there in southern Kentucky. Tornadoes are obviously very damaging and can be very deadly. More storms off to our south, but the main thing is that those tornado warnings that we are talking about there for parts of Laurel County, Rockcastle, and also Jackson County. Numerous other severe thunderstorm warnings have also been issued due to that same cluster. It's had a history over in Pulaski County of producing quarter-sized hail, estimated wind gusts up to 70 miles per hour. So that storm, it really means business in that region. That's why we're on the air here with you to keep you up to date. And I'll tell you, we're going to stay with you throughout the duration of this tornado warning that, again, is in effect for Laurel, Rockcastle, and Jackson counties. It's only certain sections of the county that are under the gun that will be highlighted, and we'll show you that here in just a few moments. But this was a Doppler radar indicated tornado. Okay, now somebody hasn't seen it just yet. There haven't been any reports of it on the ground, but radar had the signature for it, and the folks over the Weather Service who issue all warnings. We don't issue warnings here. That is regulated by the federal government. They issued it, and that's why we're now talking about all of this severe weather now out in southern parts of Kentucky. With severe thunderstorm warnings going, we've got tornado warnings going. I mean, it's just turned into a very, very active evening for those folks out there. All right, let's jump ahead and go over to the live pinpoint Doppler radar, guys, and we'll show the folks exactly what is going on. There you see it, live pinpoint Doppler radar. And it is certainly pretty active out there in extreme southern Kentucky, where you're looking at all of those storms clustered together. And I'll highlight communities here in just a moment as we roll right along with our severe weather coverage. Let's go a little bit closer here to Laurel County and Rockcastle, and also into Jackson County, where it's basically the northern parts of Laurel County here. That's who's under the gun for this. And then you've also got parts of the Rockcastle area too. So that's a general area that if a tornado is going to happen, it's going to happen right in there, according to Doppler radar. All the counties highlighted in red there. That's who we're going to be watching here very, very closely coming up over the next little bit here with those tornado warnings out. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of some of this other data. I'm going to take off the severe thunderstorm data for just a moment, and I'll take down radar so we can see exactly who is highlighted. And it's right in this general section of the counties. We'll go a little closer. It'll plot more communities, and eventually we'll get some more roads put up there for you. So right on top of Livingston, going possibly over toward Annville there in Jackson County, and crossing the interstate, Sinks, Well Hope, Hazel Patch, Victory, all of these communities you're seeing in these counties are under the gun due to the fact that we could see tornadic activity try to get going for you folks in all of these areas. Again, tornado warning going all the way out until a little bit later on here this evening for numerous counties that have been highlighted here, excuse me, that have been highlighted, talking up until 4 o'clock. So that's 30 minutes away, roughly. So we got 30 minutes left on the warning. Roads that this includes right now, there's 25, 490, you've got 30 right there, and obviously the blue road running very brightly across the screen. That's Interstate 75. These are some of the larger roads that are going to be affected here within the next 30 minutes with this tornado warning. So we are certainly going to watch this very closely and looking for all kinds of information right now on 3 different computers. I'll tell you what, that's the tricky part, trying to get all the information together and make sure we're not missing anything as new reports start to come in. Other communities, Peoples to Atlanta there, you've got Morris Creek, Cornelius, Cruz, you're looking at them here as well. You can see them and you know how close that you would be in particular to these. There's State Highway 1955, there's Hickory Flat Road, you've got State Highway 89, Black Lick Road. If you know these areas, and there's Virgie Ponder Road, let's go back to that, Virgie Ponder Road, and if you know any of these communities and these roads, you need to be in a very safe spot at this moment in time. You want to get to a basement, the lowest point of your home, into your hallway or a room somewhere on the bottom floor. So just keep those safety tips always in mind when we're talking about any type of severe weather situation. I'll tell you, they can save your life, and they can certainly do it in a hurry. I've seen so many reports where people have gone to the basement and survived, and they've been on the bottom floor of their home, and they've been able to survive certain storms. All right, let me plot some other little odds and ends here for us and show you a storm track out there so we can see exactly where this is going and how it's expected to affect all of these people and all the communities that I have mentioned here just moments ago. So as it moves off toward the east at roughly, we're looking at about 26 miles per hour. Here's who's being affected. Again, just a different type of tracker for you. I was showing you some of the communities up close and personal as they were highlighted with the actual warning. But this is different. This shows you estimated arrival times for them. You've got Oakley at 3:37 over there. You got Grace, Egypt, Burning Springs, Tanksley, Alger. So all of those communities, you've got the times broken down there for you. And the most important ones, because right at this point in time, it looks like the peak of this tornadic activity is going to be, if it happens, within the next 23 minutes. So those times there before 4 o'clock, let's pay very close attention to them. And let's pay attention to all of them, obviously, but those for sure, at least at this point in time, until we see exactly what comes down the pike out of this severe thunderstorm as it continues to move off toward the east there. Again, you see all the communities broken down. There are many, many more that could be highlighted out of this particular tornado warning that is in effect underneath the radar. That's where they're highlighted at. All of us now in eastern Kentucky, folks, under severe thunderstorm watch until 11 p.m. Let's hope we don't have this to look forward to all evening long. Let's hope some of this starts to fall apart. But right now, that storm is really showing some impressive signatures on radar, and it's just going to hang around at least for a little while. It's already done that out in Pulaski County with reports of a large hail and with estimated wind speeds up to 70 miles per hour. I think I actually read the report there that said one of the county workers said it rocked one of those large trucks, and you know how the county workers have some pretty decent sized trucks. So it just goes to show you how intense these winds are getting out there in southern Kentucky as the storm crosses Interstate 75. And continues to show the signatures for possible tornadic activity down there in southern Kentucky. The rest of us not out of the woods either. As I mentioned the watch, we do have some other severe thunderstorm warnings. I'll get back to this tornado warning in just a moment. Let's just try to cover all of the bases here with a couple of other severe thunderstorm warnings also posted here this evening for, again, out there toward southern Kentucky. It's real close to that cell. That's generally what we've got going on. That's the big one to talk about in eastern Kentucky at this point in time, with severe thunderstorm warnings going out for it, with tornado warnings also going out for it. This is certainly proving to be quite the decent little thunderstorm. Let me take down the actual watch, and again, we'll peel back layers of radar so you can see exactly who's being covered up with severe thunderstorm warnings, not only tornado warnings out there today. All the counties highlighted here in yellow under severe thunderstorm warnings. Now, there are particular areas that the National Weather Service finds to be a little more susceptible to the severe thunderstorms. So they issue these new warnings that basically cover specific areas, and you see them there highlighted in yellow. And pretty much all of Rockcastle County and all of Jackson County covered up, and you've just got a small fraction there of Laurel not included in a severe thunderstorm warning. So part of the county under severe thunderstorm warning, the northern parts north of 80 basically there under a tornado warning in Laurel County. So as you get right into Rockcastle County, then you also see the tornado warning. That's the area highlighted here in red, and they go over to Jackson County and you've got basically the same situation. So all parts of the counties that are highlighted should be prepared for some very intense winds, loads of lightning, large hail, and those areas highlighted in red could be prepared for a possible tornado as we head through the rest of the evening here. Next, got 20 minutes left on the actual warning itself. So you're looking at Livingston again, over to Anvil, all of these communities that we're going to show you in a moment. Cruz, I mentioned these a moment ago, Victory, Hazel Patch. Be prepared right now because, again, Doppler radar has indicated there could be a tornado inside the thunderstorm that has already produced some decent winds just off to your west there in Pulaski County. Now starting to see a little twisting, a little spin in the atmosphere, so they sparked that tornado warning. There are certain things you have to look for, and they found it here, and that's why this particular area is now highlighted with a tornado warning. Let's take down the warning information for just a moment, and I'll throw up some more radar data so we can see what is going on with it. Right here we're looking at the Weather Service radar out of Jackson, and the most intense sections of the storm right now in northern parts of Laurel County. And this is where they're thinking that they could be talking about the possible tornado. So again, showing up on Doppler radar here. Haven't seen any reports, I'm reading them as they come in, haven't seen any reports where someone's actually spotted anything, and according to some of the data on our computer here, on our pinpoint Doppler, it looks like this is a relatively lower populated area than, say, a little bit further to the south, so some of the communities may be a little more spread out here and there, and maybe some of those communities also have smaller families living in them, and maybe just a few houses here and there. But right now, you're in the northern part of the county. That's where I'm really concerned about it being at there, crossing over into the border of Rockcastle County, highlighted area for this development. You see the interstate, again, running right basically down the middle of your screen as it turns here toward the bottom. And there's 25 again. So you can just kind of get a general idea of what I'm talking about. There's 80, that's 80 there, and there's 421, some of the more significant roads in this particular area of southern Kentucky. With this storm moving off toward the east at around 26 miles per hour, we have to certainly watch it very closely. So let's throw up these severe weather tips again, guys, and just give those people that great information once again. It's handy. I've got it memorized, know it by heart, but we also need to throw it up there on the screen for them so they can see the severe weather tips that are located on the other computer, guys. If you all could just switch them over there, we'll throw up all kinds of good information, like go to a basement or the lowest point of your home. And again, what we mean by the lowest point of your home, just be on the bottom floor of your house. And you want to try to get into an interior hallway or a room. And if you're in one of these rooms, by the way, even the basement, you want to try to get under some sturdy furniture. By adding that sturdy furniture, just say, for instance, something happens there with the ceiling of the basement, maybe something falls through. Well, I'll tell you, you're going to add a little extra protection by being under a table, a desk, or some other sturdy piece of furniture that you may have located in the basement. You want to even throw, believe it or not, pillows or blankets or all kinds of things like that onto your body, because that can protect you and add a little extra shell, almost like a football player wears football pads. Well, same kind of thing. You're just adding a little protection to your body. And let's see. All right, also talking about, I'm reading numerous reports here, folks. There's also pea-sized hail coming in, just getting an email about that. Anyway, but you see the safety tips there, interior hallway or room, as I mentioned, and you want to stay away from windows. So easily broken and so easily it is to be cut by flying glass and other types of significant damage if you're around some of the larger pieces of glass. So keep that in mind. So easy to be affected by a window as it starts to shatter out there. But you see our severe weather safety tips. Great information for you to follow and to let your family always know, and keep that in mind in any type of severe weather situation. All right, back to our live pinpoint Doppler radar. We're watching that severe thunderstorm out there in Laurel, Rockcastle, and Jackson counties. It's not crossed in there yet, Jackson. You're seeing maybe some very, very light rain at the most. You're really noticing the clouds starting to increase. Sometimes that can also be showing up right here. So that's what you're starting to see. What I'm hearing out of London now, just about 2 miles north of London, numerous wind gusts to 60 miles per hour on Highway 192. It's about a half a mile off the Interstate 75 interchange, and this strong wind lasted about 10 minutes. That's what a storm report is saying here, lasting about 10 minutes out there along Highway 192, and again, that's near the Interstate 75 interchange. There you go, action-packed down there in Laurel County right at this moment in time with tornado warnings and obviously talking about some pretty strong just winds in general. So with 192 also being affected, let's see what we can find here for you. There's 25, you got 490, you got 30. You see all of these roads are now affected. The leading edge of some pretty intense rain and also loads of wind now creeping over the county there into Jackson County. And you got Livingston under the same type situation at this point in time. With the live pinpoint Doppler radar, what I can also do for you, I can back out just a little bit and I can show you communities that are going to be highlighted and that could very well be affected here over the next little bit. We're talking roughly 30 miles per hour. So about 26,000 people affected now as the storm has basically changed a little bit, as you see radar data going around and updating us and seeing exactly what's going on and how it's going to be traveling over the next little bit. You see the communities highlighted from Lida to Grace, to Cotton Gym, to Burness, and you've got Big Creek. All of these need to just be prepared over the foreseeable future. Warnings going out, severe thunderstorm warnings going out till 4:15 for many communities, tornado warning going out until 4 o'clock. Let's get that information for you too. I'll pop that back up so you can all see that, and we can all have that great information thrown back up on the screen for you. So you got tornado warning right now for Jackson County until 4 p.m. You see it right there, highlighted basically where the storm is at. You've got Rockcastle County until 4 p.m. and you've got Laurel County with tornado warning until 4 p.m. And by the way, this area down here in southern Kentucky, it's just, it's almost like Kentucky's very own tornado alley. We've seen very high numbers of tornadoes reported there and confirmed through the years, leading basically the state now between Pulaski and Laurel counties. Very intense number of tornadoes actually moving through those two counties in this general area. You go kind of outside those counties, numbers really decrease, but nonetheless, tornado warnings are out for you all. Severe thunderstorm warnings have also been posted for the same thunderstorm. You've got Clay County under severe thunderstorm warning until 4:15. You've got Laurel County warning for the southern parts of the county, as a matter of fact, that it looks like it is going to expire. So that's good news. So basically what we're going to be watching will be that general area right up there. So the severe thunderstorm warning has now gone. Now in Laurel County, right there in London, actual city of London, several reports of penny-sized hail within the city. So you're seeing that this storm has hail, and we've already seen reports of some very intense wind. I mean, this is a doozy out there for you folks in Laurel, Rockcastle, and Jackson counties. It was already that way for Pulaski County. It reports a quarter-sized hail for those folks. I mean, it has been very, very intense thus far. All right, the Pulaski County warning is going down here any minute. Computers sometimes slow to take them off as it processes the new data, but right now the only other warning we have in effect other than the severe thunderstorm warning for Clay County is the series of tornado warnings we have out for Rockcastle, Jackson, and also Laurel counties. And again, I want to show you specific areas that are expected to see the most significant part of this, or where the tornado warning has been issued and where the severe thunderstorm warnings are specifically for, folks. This is where they're specifically for, and it's not the entire counties, it's just parts of the counties now. So you do see severe thunderstorm warnings in effect for Laurel still, but it's mainly all tornado warning for you all, and then Jackson and also Rockcastle, all getting the double whammy here. They've got both tornado and they've got severe thunderstorm warnings in effect. Already reports of large hail, wind gusts possibly up to 70 miles per hour. That's not confirmed. It's just an estimate. But let me tell you, with what I've seen here so far with some of the radar data, it would not surprise me to have that. And I think I saw some reports now of some limbs, some tree limbs being blown down, and things like that are of course going to come in, and they're going to happen in a particular situation like this, because again, this is just a very, very active evening for you folks out there, and yesterday too. So day one, day two, other parts of Kentucky on Sunday, it has been a nice little streak for the old severe weather. It has really been coming right on top of us over the last couple of days. Radar data coming right back to us, the live pinpoint Doppler radar with all of its tools here helping us track these storms from every different angle. And by every different angle, let me show you something. We're looking at it from the Louisville radar now, and you can see a change in the data, but you can also see a couple more areas of some decent rainfall, some yellows and some oranges too on the backside. So that's why a true radar network here comes in handy, because you can see every side of the storm. Because sometimes when you get a very intense thunderstorm like this, it's hard for the one radar to see all the way back through the other side. So we have a true network that helps you see exactly what is going on to keep you safe. And after this storm gets through there, Pulaski County, you're in the clear as far as the significant weather is concerned, but now it's just going to basically be focused there along the interstate at this moment in time, stopping in southern parts of Laurel County all the way through Rockcastle County there along I-75. That's where the severe weather is going to be the most active at. Severe thunderstorm warnings are obviously in effect still, and new information coming out from the Weather Service. They are now going to cancel our tornado warning. That is wonderful news. That is wonderful news. But the thing is, don't let your guard down out there in Rockcastle, Jackson, and Laurel counties. Still a severe thunderstorm warning out for these communities. It still has the capability of producing some very intense winds, and I'm not sure if the data has processed yet here. So let me pull the radar down so we can show you exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah, tornado warning now officially gone on radar, but you do see we still have severe thunderstorm warnings out. And again, reports out of Pulaski County, possible 70 miles per hour wind gusts, and you've also had reports of maybe a 10-minute shot of wind over in Laurel County of up to 60 miles per hour. So very active and still very intense for those communities highlighted in yellow right now. Rockcastle, Jackson, parts of Clay, Laurel counties with severe thunderstorm warnings out right now. So you see them all highlighted here in those out in southern Kentucky, right basically along the interstate. I'll plot that information for you specifically now, so you can see it right on the air for you. So we'll have to change it around just a little bit. But you've got Laurel County, 4:15 severe thunderstorm warning, Clay until 4:15, Jackson until 4:15, and you've also got Rockcastle until 4:15, and it's showing parts of Pulaski County still under the gun until 4:15 here this evening. We'll continue to monitor this severe weather situation. These storms are nothing to laugh at. They are very intense, and it wouldn't surprise me if they see more rotation, more spin in this particular storm, that we could very well have more of the tornadic warnings. I'll have to look at more data here as soon as we jump off the air with you and take you back to regular programming. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to send you back to regular programming if we have any more significant weather. I'll be right back on the air with you, and we'll try to walk you through it. But right now, just severe thunderstorm warnings posted out there in extreme southern Kentucky. And again, something to be afraid of and be aware of out there. We'll have much more information for you coming up a little bit later.